Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half of the podcast, Mel.
I'm the other half, Sam.
Hi. What's up? Don't feel like we need to make the disclaimer, but there's my dryer's on. We're at my house today.
Yes.
My dryer's on. I have a lot of laundry to do, so don't mind it if you hear it. Yeah.
Yes, visually we're at a different place today. Hope you don't mind. We've hopefully made the sound setup the most
same.
ideal it's ever been.
No, it's ever been.
Maybe. Who knows? Kind of into this height. It's cute.
It's giving.
Anyways, today we're talking about becoming a homeowner. It is not I. It would be Mel.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't follow, I mean, it's not on our page, but if you don't follow me, I've been posting about our home renovation process at the moment.
Yep.
It's currently July 14th. Also, I'm sorry if I'm like sniffly. I have allergies, but July 14th, and our expected move-in date is August 1st, because that's when we have to be out of this apartment that you're visually watching. But anyway, if you don't follow us, that's what's been happening. There's a lot of feelings, and so
let's give them the base, because if people don't know the situation, who'd you buy it with? Who's us?
Yeah, so
where?
Logan, my partner, and her sister Brittany, we all are going into this project together. It's a duplex here in LA, specifically in West Adams, if you know where that is. It's such a cute little community, and I feel like the more we learn about it, the more in love we are with like the city and the neighborhood. And so, yeah, that's who us is.
That's who us is. This is us.
This is us.
It's so exciting.
It is.
I feel like it happened kind of fast, but like I know for Logan's timeline, not fast enough.
Not fast enough.
Never fast enough. But it did happen quick, especially once you found like the one you wanted. Things move fast sometimes.
I feel like I didn't expect that part of the process to be as quick as it was. And maybe it's because like it was always this big thing for like since Logan and I met, she's always like been so honed in on being a homeowner, which I'm like grateful for, because I feel like that was like on my radar, but I didn't really expect it or think that it would happen within like my 20s. I felt like that was kind of unrealistic, and maybe that's just because of like my like movie moment of like I need to be in an apartment and like you know, live my life as a young adult like in an apartment.
Kind of crazy. You had the vision of like apartment life being your 20s, and then 30s being like, okay, fine,
like I'm gonna settle. Yeah, I'm gonna settle and have a house. I don't know, it was just like a moment where I just didn't think it would happen this soon. I was gonna say, like, although this is gonna sound so stupid, but like if you're into astrology, like I feel like
you said my pattern said it's not time.
Actually, my pattern said it's time.
Oh, okay.
Logan and I both have the same pattern of like career and home expansion. And it ended, I think it's ending this month, which is crazy because that's when like renovations and everything are gonna be done. But astrologically, like I'm a Taurus, and I am also like, I'm just very earthy, which like you would assume would be like very much about being grounded and having like a stability body situation, a stability. And I feel like all my life I've been like scared to settle down. Like I feel like
settle or settle down, so different.
You're right. Both. But to like settle down, I feel like it was really scary. Like although like I really wanted marriage or like saw it for myself, I feel like at the same time that concept was also really scary to me. And then like buying a home, it just all feels so permanent to me. And I think the more that I got comfortable with the idea that like it's really just for financial, not just, but like it's a part of financial stability and financial wealth, that started to like open my eyes up of like, okay, you can own a house, have it be paid for and more, and then that could pay for your like lifestyle later.
You don't have to live there forever.
Exactly. We could go travel, whatever. Like also it just, I feel like it's more freedom than it is like settling down, if that makes sense, because I feel like when you're and living in an apartment, there's always like this like if you wanted to like move to another part of the country or out of the country for like half of the year or whatever, you can't really do that because you have a lease, and like lease usually contractually, yeah, there's complications of like having it subleased or whatever, legally anyway. So like with it being a homeowner, you can just like put it on fucking Airbnb or like do whatever you want, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like those ideas like started to really implement into my brain, and I got really like comfortable and more like free with the thought of it's not a scary thing.
It's not like this pit of money that you're just now dealing with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's
kind of crazy. That was your mindset. I know that's how you thought about houses.
I was really scared of it, which is interesting because I remember.
So were you just not scared when you got the house? Like, were you like, all right, I guess it's real now?
Yeah.
But the whole time you were like, well, I'm okay if we don't. And then you did, and you're like, fuck.
I think the idea got comfortable with me like when we started, like when Logan and I were looking for a house. And we had gotten like kind of scam tricked by a lender, and we thought we could afford a duplex on our own, which wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. But then when we got like the news that we can afford like a condo, and we started looking into that, I feel like that's when I got really comfortable with the idea of like, this isn't scary. Like this is something good for you, you know? Mm-hmm. But I mean, by now I'm like, whatever. But I'm very like, no,
you said this is
it. Yeah.
You can't bail now.
I can't return it. So,
I mean, the homeowner would love if you did. The old homeowner.
Yeah, she would.
You're like, but not for free. You can't have it back, babe.
Give my money back. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's funny because I just feel like for me, home owning was always like, or still is because I don't own one, but like this milestone to get to.
Yeah.
And it was like this thing of like settling down in a good way of like, oh my God, like I found my person, we're gonna do this forever, whatever. I don't know. I always had like that, you know, movie magic perfect moment in my head when I was like gonna get a house. But now that I'm older and like all my dreams have been crushed and reality has set in.
Girl.
I'm just kidding. But in a way where I'm like, but actually, because I used to think I was going to be married by 25 and have kids at 28.
Hello? I mean, the kids could still happen, girl.
The kids could still I mean, I could get married in the next 2 months. We don't know.
We don't know.
No, but that was like always my dream. So I probably would have had a house at 25 too if that was my whole...
If that worked itself out in that way.
Which I'm fine with that not being the case. But I think now it's just... I've always felt like I wanted to save money for a house instead of living the apartment life, which I don't think either is wrong. I mean, there's obviously ups and downs to both of those things, like staying at home or getting your own apartment. So I've always wanted to just like save for a house. I guess that was like always in the back of my head. But now that I'm like single, like probably not going to get a house by myself. I don't have like a stable career right now that's like financially like, oh yeah, you're gonna buy a house. So if anything, I've talked about it with my friend Katie, which I've told you, and we're like, we'll buy a house in like 2 years together. Like we'll do it, unless one of us is obviously married in 2 years. It'll be like,
listen, babe,
our dream maybe isn't gonna happen anymore. Which would be fine.
Or all three of you can go into a place together.
All four of us. Maybe we're both married.
Maybe all both are married. You can buy like a fucking quadplex.
We can buy a mansion. We can buy a Kim Kardashian style house and be like, you live on this quarter, I live in this quarter. Just kidding.
When you think about owning a home, do you think about it in terms of like a single family home?
Yeah, probably. I've never really thought about like ADUs and like the benefits of it, just because I haven't actually gone to the point where I'm like on Zillow seriously looking. Yeah. So for me, it's like whatever. But I'm sure my idea of what my perfect home looks like will change as I have like real numbers and real facts in front of me. Yeah, and I think maybe I don't know. Maybe you think of it as like your perfect home, your first like home would be like your forever home. Maybe like that's like the initial ideal you have, and I think that's why I was scared, because I was like, I don't want a fucking forever home yet. Like I don't want that. Yeah. And I think that's why like also buying a duplex was like so freeing, because I was like, this could be somebody else's apartment at some point. Like that's so fun. I mean, it's like, see, I also didn't really know or fully understand the difference between like house, condo, duplex, Obviously apartment, I knew that, you know, but even like there's some things that I think you would traditionally consider an apartment that look more like a house or like a condo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. But
places that look like houses but are
an apartment traditionally, or not looks like houses, but like I don't even know.
You mean like for example, if we were to rent our current the home we're buying,
yeah,
it would be
not an apartment because it's obviously
a house.
Yeah,
but the back unit would be. I mean, they're both like they both could be.
Do you know what it just like? Yeah. I never really gave much thought to it. Like when people say like, come to my house, come to my apartment, come to my whatever. I was never thinking like, oh, I know what to expect when I get here. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I get that.
Like they'd just be like, come over. Like, I don't know where they live. It could be a house. It could be whatever.
I get that. Like, I think like the layout of this apartment, it more so feels like a condo, which I like. I also like my brain can't compute what the difference are.
Yeah. Did you say apartment when you say like my apartment?
Yeah.
Exactly. See, it's like it's not really an apartment to me. Is like you live in a building with
like
multiple,
and
like they all look the same. Which like I'm sure the people above you look similar, but
yeah, it's exact same. So like, I don't know. You know
like,
what I mean?
Let's define the lines between
condo,
duplex. So yeah, I never really thought much of that. So I never gave thought to like what I would own. But my parents did fix their first home that they bought that I lived in, but I don't remember.
You were so little.
Literally, not yesterday. Last week, I asked my mom. I was like, yeah, like my cousin was asking if we had a pool in that house, and I was like, I don't know, no. She was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like you guys were in the pool all the time. And I was like, oh.
You're like no recollection.
I was like, that must be where that picture is that I don't remember.
Yeah.
Whose pool that is. I guess it was ours.
It was mine.
Yeah, but I'm not opposed. I feel like it's better to get a fixer-upper personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's on preference. Like some people,
I mean, if
really
you don't have the skills or the
like the creativity,
I don't want
for
your creativity, the drive, like or the time even to do a fixer-upper.
Let me tell you, the time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, and I feel like I grew up my whole life not in a fixer-upper, because that's a bit much to say. But, like, my first house that I lived in when I was little, my parents did a lot to that house. And then the house that I still live in, that we've lived in since I was, like, 4.
You guys have done a lot of work on it.
We did so much work, and we're still doing work on it.
Yeah.
So I'm so accustomed to, like, things being updated and fixed. And my dad is just, like, the best handyman ever.
Yeah.
So I'm so used to it. Now I'm also like, okay, I got to find a husband who likes handiwork, because I'm not going to survive.
We're not going to make it.
We're not going to make it. I'm not paying someone for that. So, yeah.
It's so expensive to, like, have a fixer-upper, but also I feel like it balances itself out, because like you're obviously paying for a house that needs some work versus like getting something that's already like pre-made for you. I think also like personally, like we intentionally, like Logan and I know Brittany, she's I think more of like wants to buy things new.
Oh yeah,
like marble, white, like everything kind of like in modern, that vibe, modern, which is it's own vibe. But Logan and I are so like obsessed with specifically like 1920s to the like 1940s architecture in Los Angeles. It's just so unique. I feel like there's nothing, not that there's nothing like it, but I feel like it's just so unique to this place, and we're super into like the restoration of it all. And so in buying a home, we were really like looking forward to finding something that honestly looked probably like shit, but like really excited to see what was under all these like things, you know, like for example, we found hardwood under our tile floors that, you know, we had like an inkling of like it being there because the owner had told us that they had put tile over the hardwood floor. But with that said, like you never know the condition of things, and so we're like, might not be
the best hardwood floor or whatever.
Yeah. So, but like now, like we've almost taken up like the entire thing, and you can almost see all of it, and it's just like it feels like, I keep telling Logan, like it feels like the house is like taking off like a really tight shoe. Like it just feels like it's free again. Like I love seeing a home the way that it was built. Obviously, we're not gonna like leave it in its like condition. Like we're gonna paint it and shit and like redo the floors.
You guys are like perfect.
I love it. Great. But like I think like recreating like what it maybe looked like before restoring it. It's just that's so special. So it really depends on what your need is and also like what your timeline is like.
Yeah.
Like I can also see like if Logan and I had children or like if Brittany had a kid, I think our timelines would be way different, you know? Maybe we would be looking for something that was ready to go because we just wanted to move in with our kids. But right now that we have the time, why not?
And it's not like you guys are doing, I mean, it literally is a month.
It's a month.
You're not doing like 6 months of, all right, let's fully freaking
like,
redo drywall and redo all this. You're doing like essentials.
We're doing essentials, and we also know that like this place is going to be like an ongoing progress. Like I think when you buy a home that like you know you're going to work on, it's never going to be done.
I feel like it never, literally never, even if it's fully new, fully whatever, you're gonna be like, are we kind of over the paint color?
Yeah, literally trends come and go, and people like often will try to redo something in that kind of way. So it's like you're never gonna fully be done.
Yeah, no.
Unless you really don't give a fuck and you're like,
some people, or you run out of money, whatever. Like I remember this house on the corner by my house. Oh, you could tell they ran out of money from the outside. Like they were going. Oh
yeah, that house.
You know, it's giving like we wanted to be the Getty.
No, literally though.
But we couldn't get there.
But we couldn't afford it.
We ran out of money, so we spray painted the fence gold. Like that's basically where it went. But nonetheless, yeah, I think it's always going to be a work in progress. Like I said, so like the reason we're here is because we're redoing the roof at my house, and that shit is so loud.
So loud.
Like. Also, my dad is just kind of like whatever about it, but there's just like stuff falling through the ceilings.
Oh my God.
Into the attic. And like my dad is going to be so sweaty in the attic trying to clean this up. It's like a project on top of the project.
He's doing it himself?
Not the roof. Oh my God.
Oh, I was like, Steve, please.
Okay, side embarrassing story. So Monday, I don't know, the first day they came, I think it was Monday. And I went on a walk. I was in maybe some like revealing walking clothes. Okay, I was like
okay,
like it was 90 degrees, God forbid.
Okay, but yeah, whatever,
you know. I was wearing, it was in a black sports bra, black spandex shorts, and then I had a black sweater tied around my waist. Like I was like trying to be,
I'm covering my ass.
Yes, I was like, I'm trying. Okay, it's fucking hot. So I get back and then I hear a knock at the door and I was like, fuck. My mom's home because she's off this week. Long story. She got a new job. Anyways, she was doing her hair or something. She was in a robe. She's like, can you go get the door? I was like, Mom, I took the sweater off because I was about to jump in the shower. I was like, Mom, okay, fine. And he's like, hi, can you move the car in the driveway? And I was like, Mom, why don't you move the car? She's like, can you move it? I was like, oh my God. So I go out there. There's like 8 men ready to work.
You gave them the motivation.
I gave them a show.
Give them motivation for the day.
Red in the face, and I was like, get in the car, move it. And then he's like doing this whole thing. I had to drive a whole block around. I come back, I have to cross the street, cross in front of them, like this little walkway. I'm like, hi.
That's so uncomfortable.
And they were like, hey. I was like, no, stop it. I gotta go. I'm going inside. But anyways, so renovations, it comes with a whole journey of things. But yeah, it is never ending
for sure. But that's the vibe, man. I don't know, didn't think it would happen this early on, I will say.
The ripe age of 26,
man. 26, 27 and 32.
She has a house in Seattle though, no, Brittany?
I think I don't want to say like forfeited, but like she kind of sold her portion to her dad.
Oh.
Because her dad's closer and like easier to manage and stuff. Mm-hmm. So
she did have a house, but
she did have a house. This is her second home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know.
So you're moving in August.
Mm-hmm.
This situation, you have 2 weeks to pack her. You guys are getting moving people.
What's the situation is, we actually just realized this morning that next weekend we're gone.
Yeah.
We're in Ohio. You guys. And then it's August.
Yeah.
Like we just have during the week to really pack. So with that said, I think it's going to be, well, to be fair, like the last couple of weeks we've been at the house, the new house, and like doing things like the floors, and that's what we spend like our evening nights doing.
Yeah.
So I think instead of doing that, we would just be packing. So it's kind of like we'll just switch what we're doing. You know what I mean? I think it'll be okay, but like in reality, like all we have is this weekend left to pack and like declutter and figure ourselves out. So that's nerve-wracking. I do think we're gonna do movers. It was just so much easier. I said don't invite me. Don't invite me if you're not getting movers. Sam does not want to come to a moving day anymore, and that's Logan's fault, I will say, not mine.
God bless her.
We moved from Seattle to LA again. We were living with my parents for a little bit, and then we got an apartment in Koreatown on the second floor. And it was just like this fucking, it was just really like my car, your car, and my dad's truck that we like put everything in because it was at my mom's house and we were going to move it in. And Logan supposedly got the day off to like move, right? And instead she like takes a couple meetings.
She's like on her phone.
She's on her phone. Like talking and
like girl
shit.
bossing or whatever you want to call it.
Literally. And me and fucking Sam were literally like trying to fucking move mattresses up the stairs, heavy ass
like
furniture.
July also?
It was June, literally the middle of June. It was so fucking hot.
There was no gloom that day.
No gloom, not at all. But it was so hot, and I just remember like, I remember she helped us with the last piece or something. She's like, "Oh my god, you guys did it all!" I was like, "Fuck you, dude. Are you serious?"
Like, yeah, I'm sweating my ass off. Thanks, babe.
The other day,
so your mattress is on the floor. We tried.
Really I remember the other day when you sent me the.
Oh yeah.
There was like a meme of.
It was Rachel and Chandler. Is it them?
Was it them? It was
Pivot.
Somebody from Friends. There was
yeah.
like they were saying Pivot, like literally carrying a mattress up the stairs. That was us. It was fucked up. But yeah, I remember that day I was mad at Logan and you were mad at who you were with because...
Was I mad at them?
Not like actually, but you're like, this is so fucking annoying that they didn't want to come because not like we were the only ones to do it. Like when in reality we were supposed to have like,
he was supposed to come?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
He came this house.
I know, there was nothing to do though.
I know, and then there was movers, so I was just like...
So silly.
Yeah, I don't know. So, you're moving?
I moved. Yeah, and she's coming.
Oh, Miss Harley. Yeah.
She
Harley hasn't been there?
She hasn't been there. I think there's just like too much construction. There's like nails everywhere. I'm scared that she's gonna get hurt. Also, it's dusty as fuck.
You don't want to wash
like,
her. It's like, oh.
No, dude. The other day, like I left my hair down and we were working, and when I got home, my hair was stiff from the amount of like concrete dust that was in my hair.
Nice.
I can't even imagine what her body would feel like because she's all fur. You know, nasty. So I'm not doing that. But
no.
We also had to like clean up the backyard. There's like spiders, and I'm just scared of her, like her getting hurt or something.
Bit.
Yeah. She's already itchy.
Little does she know.
I know. Little does she know she's gonna fucking move.
Have you guys met any neighbors?
Yeah, we actually have met both next door, like immediate neighbors. On our right side is this really nice woman, Joanna. We call her Joe. And on the left is she's also a real estate agent, which is interesting. And like she knows all of like Logan's like clients and stuff. And then on the left side is a very young couple with a baby and a bunch of like Frenchie bulldogs.
So bunch?
Cute. Yeah, like it's like a parent couple, like a couple, and then like four puppies. I think he like breeds them.
Probably.
But very sweet. They're all so sweet.
Nice.
Yesterday he left and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go. Can you just like watch the house? He's like, I gotta leave the dogs in there.
Talking to you?
Yeah, he's like, I left the windows open, but like I just if anybody comes, just tell them you know what to do. You know what to do. But like I'm gonna be right back. No one should be here. But if you see anybody, just you know what to do.
What does
and
that
I was
mean?
like, I literally was like, yeah. And then I looked to Logan. I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you know what to do.
I'm like, am I just like tell him to fuck off?
Yeah,
like,
get out.
What are you doing? Yeah, maybe
just be like, you have a gun.
Just be like a weird nosy neighbor, I guess. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Well, that's good.
So like,
because then when you leave, you be like, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
He fucking's gonna straight up murder somebody,
dude. He's cool though. He like inherited his house from his grandma.
Oh, that's sick.
Who like has had it for like literally so many years. probably like
That's
70.
so nice.
I know, literally.
That's
It doesn't
so
have to pay
nice.
shit. Just living life rent free.
Wow.
Fucking nice. Breeding his dogs.
Wow.
Good ass time.
I mean, maybe that'll be you guys. Your grandkids
So our
will move
grandkids?
in. Damn.
Yeah. The ins and outs, man. Of
You really be fumbling generational wealth like that out here. Speechless.
speechless.
Anyways, that's not going to be our grandkids' case. They're going to be fine.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's exciting though.
Super exciting. I'm excited to like I think with this apartment, I was really excited to like moving from Koreatown, especially where we were. Like I'm not saying everywhere in Koreatown is bad, but like it was interesting to have people over. Like first of all, parking was awful. Secondly, like it just never really felt like super safe. We were on the second floor. I was always scared to be like extra noisy. Moving into this apartment was really fun, and I was like, I want this to be like an open door policy. Like everyone come over, everyone can stay, and I feel like it's only gonna expand. Like obviously, I'm not gonna like have. It's gonna be open door, but I'm like, please get out when you need to.
Please don't live here.
But I don't know. It's exciting to expand. Like we're gonna have an extra bedroom, which is just so exciting to think about, and I feel like it's gonna feel like a real like entertaining space, and like our yard is gonna be just our yard. Like I feel like here the yard is like really cool and like it's nice for Harley and stuff, but I feel like I'm always scared that like neighbors' dogs are gonna like run through the fence, or like Harley's gonna fight somebody, you know. It's nice to like think about like having like our space. So it's interesting.
And so Brittany's going to be in the back unit.
Yes, she's going to be living in the second unit.
With the cats.
With the kitty cats. It's going to be, I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Because Harley does get like obsessive over things. And so we'll see how that goes.
You might just have to put in a little, not like a permanent thing, but a little gate just so she doesn't go out the door.
Yeah.
You need to get used to cats, Harley.
I want to like desensitize her from like everything. Like the doorbell, like the cats. It's going to be a lot of training. So there's that. She makes things difficult.
It's like having a baby.
Yeah. With like getting like a bigger house though, like I like want to get another dog.
Oh my god. This is what it does.
I want to expand. I want a big ass dog.
Girl, a big ass dog.
Like a Labradoodle.
You guys are crazy.
I want a dog. I want a puppy. Maybe that's
okay.
what
That's
it is.
totally different.
Can someone just
Go
let
to
me
your
hold a
neighbors. He
puppy?
has 4 little puppies.
You're right. I don't really.
Well, do you have any last notes for the home buying?
I will say like a lot of things aligned for us to get to this place, so I'm not gonna be like tone deaf and say like everyone can do it, but I will say that it's a more possible than most people think it is. I think lately I've also been seeing like a lot of TikToks that are very discouraging about like the home buying process and like how like rates and everything, and like just like overall like the amount of money needed to buy a home has increased by a lot. Like of course, like there's always the thing of like, of course boomers like want us to all buy homes, but like you guys bought it when they were so cheap or whatever. Like I get that, and I think that's true. But I will say that there's like a lot of ways and creative ways that people can go about buying homes, and I think creating a family dynamic or like a home buying dynamic with like friends and like other like expanding to like other family, you know what I mean? Like I think
the difficulty with that is just knowing, like having people you trust enough,
right,
to.
But that's why like I think contracts exist, and like you can really figure things out. I just think like again, it's just being more creative with ways of buying a home now.
Yeah, I think it's like the same concept as like investing or taxes. Love being American.
I fucking hate it. Our friend Kim, her boyfriend, you met him the other day, Stevens.
American.
He's French, but he lives in London, and he's just constantly shitting on America. He's like, I really want to live here, but you guys fucking suck. Like your systems suck ass. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I know.
Yeah,
it's like
you have to be creative.
Literally.
Or if you genuinely live the American dream, and not in terms of like the American dream, but like living in America, working here, if that's all you do, you're never going to have like generational wealth, because you need to be investing, you need to be in stocks, you need to be putting your money away in a Roth, or like there's just like so much to think about in order to
live.
No, you can't.
And work. Like you have to,
which like in France
do the most.
or like other countries, do they just like not worry about the future in that way? Like
it's a different culture, no. Like in reality, it's just they're very like in the present type of people. And sure, like home buying and stuff is like a thing. I don't really know what that looks like, but
I'm like there's real estate agents.
But in like, you know, like just like very small things, like for me are really like shocking. Like in Europe, they don't fucking tip.
Oh, really?
Because they get paid enough and they care enough about their employees. They have free healthcare, or like healthcare that's like really cheap. Things are inexpensive in general. I'm just like, what the fuck, you know?
It is kind of crazy. It's just like, how do you change a whole system? You literally have to just leave.
You just have to leave.
Yeah, there's not really I'm like, God,
so
what a bucket of worms. Is that what it is?
Here. A can of worms.
Can of worms? Bucket of...
Dude, us with phrases.
Bucket is something. I know bucket is bucket of paint. I don't know.
Girl, what?
Bucket of dirty water.
Okay.
Don't ask me. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
homeowning
it's a funky thing, man.
It's a trip. No, you know what's funny is the the tweets that are like, it'll say like Bill Gates bought his house at 24, or what, like it says all these like accomplishments of great people, and then it's like, you're 24, just give up already.
Period.
And I'm like, yeah, well, honestly.
Same. Yeah. Well, if you're interested in the renovation process, I think I'm terrible. I feel like I'm just awful at social media now. So just follow Logan.
Dude.
She's like really about it right now and constantly posting if you want to like get to know our home and stuff. She's on Threads as well. Follow me too, though. It's cool.
You said, well, like, don't forget about me, though.
Like the other day, she like posted this whole thing about like our floors and, you know, all this cool stuff. And I was like, anyone want to go in our crawl space we just found? Like there's this big ass hole.
Did anyone say they would go in it?
A few people.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna keep you guys accountable. You're gonna go in my fucking crawl space.
That's disgusting. I would never.
It looks clean.
You gotta
I'm not gonna lie, but
small.
it's giving barbarian. And Logan hates that I say that, but like it's giving barbarian.
You've seen inside of it.
Like just quickly, it was too scary. Like Brittany got really scared. She just close it, because it was like,
what you think?
It was drilled shut.
I don't know if you want to send people down there. What if they don't come back out?
It's not on me. Y'all wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's a no from me.
You're too tall anyways.
Yeah. I would just stand in it and be like, I can't crawl
I can't go anymore.
There's no crawling here.
I need like a child to go in there. Just send Harley in with a camera. GoPro on her head.
Dude. She would do it too.
She would. Anyway. If you guys are curious, just follow either of us. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions, also let me know. Let Logan know. She's definitely really good at it. But yeah.
Back to you, yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, if you want more content like this, please let us know. Let us know by following us, giving us a rating, subscribing.
Do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing. Just do all the things.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week's episode, and we'll catch you in Glowing Hour. Bye.